Hello everybody. Welcome to the first edition of my video blog for FoxSportsDetroit.com. I'm Art Regner, and welcome to my sports corner. As you can tell, it's very loaded with a lot of cool stuff. Loyal to my old high school there, Livonia Franklin. Very cultured art picture. A Whitecap schedule that sticks on the wall. Justin Advocator, he sticks on the wall. And of course, Kate Upton for obvious reasons. So let's get started with the first of many. And first of all, I just want to say that I know I don't look very good today. I usually do. I try to keep myself well groomed, as many of you know. But I do have my comfortable dashiki on, and I'm trying to collect my thoughts because the Detroit Tigers are driving me absolutely batty. Absolutely crazy. Because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't. They're not going to get in the wild card, and unfortunately they're not going to beat out the Chicago White Sox. And the fact of the matter is that their inconsistency is just too inconsistent. They just don't have it this year. They have three, and I like to say 3 3/4 tremendous players. Cabrera, of course. Verlander, of course. Prince Fielder, of course. And Austin Jackson has really put together a great season, and I think he's going to do really well. I think that he's fine. I never had a problem with that Granderson trade, so I'm all set. I think it's great. I love it, and it's cool. Those four guys, I don't think you can get much more than you're getting from them right now. They've been absolutely tremendous. The rest of the team, not so much. I know when we look at the starting pitching, we always talk about Doug Fister, whom I affectionately call the Fist. You know I love the guy, and I do. I think if Doug Fister is healthy, he seems to have the mental makeup that the Tigers actually need. I'm fine with that. It gives Detroit a good 1-2 punch. After that, I think the starting pitching is a crapshoot. I know there's a lot of Max Scherzer fans out there, and I love Max Scherzer. I really do. I love a lot of Tigers, if you can. I keep saying love all the time, but I respect them. I think that Scherzer, for whatever reason, he and Porcello are still way too inconsistent for me to be right on their bandwagon at this point. If Scherzer can really get it together, that would really help the Tigers out, and they would have a chance. Porcello is Porcello. I know he's only 23. He's going to be 24 in November. We shouldn't give up on him. But I think Rick Porcello is going to be a number 4 starter in this league for many years to come. That's all he is. That's all he's ever going to be. But you know what? You need guys like that. 5th starter, all right, let's face it. Anibal Sanchez has not worked out. To me, he looks like he's hurt. Looks like he's forcing the ball. Maybe that's just his delivery, because I wasn't that familiar with him when he was with the Miami Marlins, or when he pitched then for the Florida Marlins. But let's be honest. I mean, I think he's trying to aim the ball. Just does not look good. His mechanics look off. He's keeping the ball high. He has not worked out. He has 9 more starts to get his act together. Hopefully that'll happen. But with all that said, where is Drew Smyly? They seem to like Drew Smyly. I think because they like Drew Smyly so much, that's why they were traded Jacob Turner in the Sanchez-Infante deal. And another thing, too. Infante, he's going to be fine. He's a lot better baseball player. I know people are up in arms about that deal and that trade, but Omar Infante, I think, is going to finish his career out here in Detroit. I like him as a ball player. I think he's better. I think that's fine. So cool off on Omar Infante. He is the least of the Tigers' worries. Now let's get to the bullpen, okay? Do we have to? Yeah, I know. I agree with you. Do we have to talk about the bullpen? Bullpen blows. Yeah, I know. Phil Koch lost it. Dwayne Belo, minors. What's going to happen? Rondon, is he going to come up? Well, he's suspended for 5 games. That's not going to happen. Polkanen is back. Or Polkanen. I'm going to butcher some names here. You just have to be, this is stream of consciousness. This is the way I like to do it. Because I'm hot, I'm angry, and I'm mad. Because the Tigers should be playing better than they are. Now, we can get into Jim Leyland and all that, but the bullpen has to find its way. I don't know what's going on with Benoit. It seems every time he does give up a home run, it's not just one, it's back-to-back. Maybe he's hurt, maybe his shoulder, maybe they need to close him down. Valverde, we couldn't expect him to do what he did last year. But, he is, he's Todd Jones too at this point. I mean, he is really a roller coaster. I have no idea what's going on there. So the bullpen somehow has to work its way out of this slump that they're in and figure it out, because the Tigers' bullpen right now is really, really hurting them. But for me, it always goes back to the bottom of the lineup. Brendan Bosch and Delman Young have never met a first pitch they didn't like. You could actually roll the ball up to them, and I think they would try to golf it out of the stadium. It's not good, and it really, really hurts. It hurts the Tigers because swinging on that first pitch like they do all the time, it seems, has been awful. It helped Bosch out when he was a rookie. Each year since then, his percentage of swinging on the first pitch is high. It always happens, but he's batting like 172 or something when he swings on the first pitch. You know, Bosch should probably be sat down. Quentin Berry and the Baker dude they got from Chicago, he should be coming in and playing that. I know cue ball has actually kind of tailed off, but Quentin Berry, who I call cue ball, should be playing. I mean, he seems to be a catalyst. Even Rod and Mario said that last night during the game, and I couldn't agree with them more. I mean, you know, they need something. There just isn't that consistency. When you're counting on Fielder and Cabrera to do it all the time, it just can't happen. It's humanly impossible. And now Cabrera's left ankle seems to be messed up. He looked really frustrated last night in that game against the Twins, and I think it's because physically he's not where he should be. That is a concern, especially playing third base. You know, he didn't have a great amount of mobility to begin with. Now with his ankle being messed up, he virtually has zero mobility at third. So the Tigers are in trouble. You know, Avila looks like he's coming out of it, although, you know, Alex, smile once in a while. You're a Major League ball player. You know, G-Money, Gerald Laird, he is who he is. But really, I think the fact of the matter is the bottom of the lineup still isn't producing enough. And when they are, it seems that one aspect of their game lets them down, which at this point is being the bullpen. The bullpen can't seem to hold up leads. They're giving up a ton of runs. That's the problem with the Tigers. Unlike last year, where they seemed to all put it together in the second half of the season, especially that great run they went on in August and September to win their division by 15 games, I can't see any one game or the team as a whole coming together right now. I think they are who they are. It kind of reminds me of, and it's not as bad as the Edgar Renteria year, but you understand, expectations were high, and yet for whatever reason they're just not getting it done. So that's a little bit frightening. That's a little bit scary. So in closing, I just think that there's too many question marks and not enough time for the Tigers to right the ship. I could be wrong. You know, the starting pitching could carry them. Maybe the entire lineup gets hot. Maybe we see, you know, Delman Young suddenly turn it around, or Brendan Bosch, or maybe they put cue ball and Baker in. You know, Andy Dirk seems to be playing well. You know, tough luck last night against Minnesota, but the schedule seems to favor them. I know they have to play the Angels a couple of times. They got some big series against the White Sox, and maybe, who knows, maybe if they can dominate the White Sox like they have in recent years, that they could win this division. I'm just not, from what I've seen right now, I'm not as optimistic. I'm a lot more pessimistic about the Tigers, so hopefully it'll happen. I'm not sure it's going to, though. I'm not sure it's going to. That's why, as you can tell, bags under the eyes, hair messed up. I'm in my sports corner freaking out here about the Detroit Tigers because they lack consistency. Justin Verlander can't pitch every game. Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder can't hit home runs and drive in a ton of runs every game. They just can't. It's humanly impossible. Other guys need to step it up. And until they do, the Tigers are not going to get the job done, unfortunately. I wish I felt differently. I want to feel differently. But, hey, it's just not in the cards this year. And I think we've given them a free pass all season long simply because we thought that, you know, hey, the division isn't very good. Well, the division isn't very good. Cleveland has swooned, and Minnesota and Kansas City are two of the worst teams in baseball. But the problem right now, and what we're feeling, is the fact is that Chicago has confidence. They're sort of playing like the Tigers. Everything they seem to do is clicking. They seem to be a team that's getting consistency. They're putting it together as a team where the Tigers are still spread out. They're sporadic. They're all over the place. Until they reel it all in and they start playing together and they start playing as a team and they get consistency. You know, another thing, too. I just want to address this before we say sayonara for this edition. They're the number one team in all of baseball with runners in scoring position. How can that be? That goes to show you can do anything with stats. Because really, how many times do they blow it with runners in scoring position? You know, and granted, they're not going to produce every time, but that is a stat that I just find astounding. But overall, inconsistent hitting, inconsistent bullpen, inconsistent starting pitching, inconsistent defense spell nothing's going to happen this year. They're going to be over 500. They're going to lose the division to Chicago. And Brandon Inge and his Oakland A's are somehow going to beat them out for that final wild card spot. Or the Texas Rangers. Or the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, or whatever they're called now. I think 2 teams out of the West are going to do it. Maybe not, but then the East, who knows? All I'm telling you is that if you're a Tiger fan right now, you got to hope that they're going to be able to somehow find consistency, and that guys who haven't produced all year or produced for a week or two somehow find that elixir and get the job done. If they can put it together, there's still time for them to win the division. I just don't think it's going to happen. On that note, and it's very positive, we'll see you again very, very soon on this new thing that we're doing here, this edition of, hey, it's the Art Regner video blog. And, you know, next time I'm going to shave and I'm going to wash my hair. But the Tigers have kept me up all night. That's how concerned I am. Until then, have a safe and pleasant one, everyone. Till next time, we'll see you. And remember, FoxSportsDetroit.com. Go there for the best coverage of Detroit sports, of athletics. You get everything you've ever wanted. Okay, we'll see you. Bye-bye.